Hello, everybody. How you doing? 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 Glad you're here with me. Is everybody all right tonight? Thank you for everybody who's already here. If you haven't done so already, please click like and share this video. I'm just so glad that you guys are here with me. I'm not going to do a lot of yelling and antics and what have you, but just know that I'm here, and Marcellus, I'm going to send you the link, so whenever you feel like coming on, you'll have it. Can y'all hear me just fine? I had some feedback on the lapel mic, so I'm not gonna use it until I move my computer over that way a little further. I was getting feedback. That's why I'm using the boom mic instead of the lapel mic. But I don't know why it acted up last night, but when I tested it the day before, it didn't do that. But I was sitting on the other side of the room. I was away from my computer. It runs interference when I'm on the computer. But I'm glad you guys are here. I know you guys, when I was in here last night talking, and I found it very interesting. I want to say hello to everybody that normally supports me. Hello to the Bush people. Hello to the new people. You know, your boy decided to go live last night after he watched me for a little while to see what I was going to talk about. And then I almost got to the end of watching him today. And all he did was talk about everything. He tried to deflect or jump ahead of everything that I've ever talked about him, exposed him for, from the time me and him first started getting into it. And that's basically what he did last night, was a recap of everything that I've ever got on this case about. And he tried to deflect and get ahead of it. And then tonight, while I'm on, his former right-hand man, Conscious TV, decided to come on 15 minutes before me. It's all good. I'll be dealing with you soon, Conscious TV. But it's all good. And I saw a nice statement today on social media. Don't try to destroy my life with lies when I can destroy yours with the truth. And that is going to be the theme that I use to talk about Larry tonight. I got my cigars. I'm not even drinking tonight because where I'm coming, I'm going to be reading the Bible. I'm going to read a passage from the Bible. I told you guys last night I wanted you to read Jude chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. That's an entire book. It's just one chapter. The whole book of the book of Jude is just one chapter, 25 verses. And I want you to read it because it applies to Jordan and it applies to Larry. And I'm going to highlight some of the verses. I'm going to talk about it. And I guarantee you that, and it was shared with me by a minister that reached out to me because he supports what I'm doing. And he let me know that he's praying for me and that his church praying for me. And I really appreciate it. This book of the Bible applies to them and the times that we're in. Please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate you guys. But I'm going to get into it. Larry spent his entire life last night just deflecting about everything. Everything from E. Dewey Smith, John Kelsey Stevens, Andrea Garrison, Jimmy Battles, everything that I've talked to him about. But he would not address the accusation and the police report. But that's all right. We're going to talk tonight. So, yes, I'm paper Bible saved. I'm not reading from my phone. I could because I have the Bible app on my phone. But I want to focus on these verses that I highlight, and I'm going to explain to you what they mean. Jude chapter 1, verse 4. For certain men have crept in unnoticed, who long ago were marked out for this condemnation, ungodly men, who turn the grace of our God into lewdness and deny only the Lord God and our God, our Lord Jesus Christ. And what that passage means, the heretics, they're talking about people who are heretics, and how subtle they sneak in with their fancy words and their catchphrases and their stuff to sucker in people that are easily influenced, brainwashed, mindless minions, LRLers, those types. They present themselves as being godly men, but they're not. The primary tactics were to prevent God's grace, to pervert God's grace, and deny the authority of the Lord. They were clever enough to have infiltrated the Christian community. That's what this passage, that's what verse 4 talks about. They were able to infiltrate the Christian community. Isn't that what you see Larry and Jordan doing? Even though they were ungodly men, they were able to infiltrate the Christian community. Jesus anticipated these kind of people when he spoke about wolves in sheep's clothing. And you can look at Matthew chapter 7, verse 15 for a reference. And in verse and see, these perverted men, they can be dangerous. Hold on. Okay. Yep, that's what's interfering. My cell phone. Sorry about that. So, and these men are dangerous because they believe just because they've been saved by God's grace, they can live how they please, and God's still gonna bless what they do. That's what that passage talks about in verse 4. Now, doesn't that sound like Larry and Jordan? I don't know who that is, but I'm glad y'all got rid of them. And I want to bring your attention to the end of verse 7. It says, having given themselves over to sexual immorality, molestation, allegations, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Having given themselves over to sexual immorality and gone after strange flesh. Strange flesh means, it refers to homosexual acts. That's what it means when it says strange flesh in this passage. In context, that's what it means. They are set forth as an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise, in verse 8, also these dreamers, these astrology people, they out here telling you what the moon and the astrology and zodiac signs and numbers. That's all Larry talks about is 1288, 888, and all these numbers and 144. These dreamers defile the flesh. They reject authority and speak evil of dignitaries. They talk bad about preachers and people in leadership. It's right here. It's right here in the book. This ain't me talking. I'm, the paper Bible is right here in the Bible. It's right here in the Bible. Right here. Let me read to you what it means in context. It says in verse 8, what explains verse 8, it says, the false teachers were arrogant and had their own agenda. They had not been commissioned by the church nor called by the Holy Spirit. And these ungodly people were referred to as dreamers. And they were called dreamers because they claimed divine revelation, but more likely because they denied the Lord and thus were living in an unreal world of deception. They were creating their own false world in which indulging in immorality went hand in hand with salvation. These false teachers even rejected those who were placed in positions of authority in local congregations, preachers. They not only preferred error to truth, but also demeaned and rejected those who taught the truth. They attack anybody that's out here trying to do right just because they don't like them. This is right here. This ain't Daryl talking. I'm going to go over to verse 16 through 19, and I'm going to put it down. Verse 16 talks about apostates predicted. God predicted apostates. These are grumblers, complainers, walking according to their own lust, and they mouth great swelling words. They talk real big and flowery, flattering people to gain advantage. Who that sound like? Verse 17, but you, beloved, remember the words which were spoken before by the apostles of our Lord Jesus Christ, how they told you that there would be mockers in the last time who would walk according to their own ungodly lust. These are sensual persons who cause divisions, not having the Spirit. That's it. Now, who did I just talk about? Who did I just describe to you? Put it in the chat, please. Hello, Gerald Thomas. Welcome. The chat is moving fast. Nobody's ignoring you, brother. We love everybody here. Who did I just talk about? Exactly. That's who I was just talking about. And his mentor. That's who I was talking about. And I don't want to put their name out here, but you know who you are that sent me that passage to read. I read it when you first gave it to me. I read it last night. I read it again today. And I want to share it. I wanted to put it up on the screen last night, but when I cut and pasted it, it was too big. And when I shrunk it down, the lettering was so small. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to send that, put it on the ticker tape at the bottom and let everybody read it. Jude, chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. It's only that one book of the Bible. It's only got, that book of the Bible only has one chapter, and it's 25 verses. It'll bless you. It will bless you. That's who I was talking about tonight. If you were wondering, that's who I was talking about tonight when I read that. That's who I was talking about tonight. And God knew this was coming. And you know why? And you know why he gave me that word to speak? Because God knew that those people like Larry and Jordan were coming amongst us, and he wanted to send somebody like me. I'm always, one of the vloggers did a show about, was talking about me and the A-team. He said, the person said, they underestimate Daryl. And that is the secret to my success and my strength. People have always, my entire life, have always underestimated me. And that's why I sneak on them and get them. Every time. Well, some of you in the bushes, and some of you people that are LRLers and whatever that don't like me, well, how in the world do you think God called you to do anything? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. For those of you that read this, whether it be here, paper Bible saved, on an electronic device, or what have you, if God can use David, who was the apple of his eye, and David was a womanizer who wanted a woman so bad that David had the woman's husband, put on the front line so he could be killed so that he could marry her and start his life with her. If God can use David, he surely can use me. If he can use Noah, who was a drunkard, he can use Daryl Moore. If God can use Moses, who had a speech impediment, he sent into Egypt to free an entire nation of people, surely he can use Daryl Moore, who smokes these cigars, cusses, and drinks liquor, and watches porn every now and then. If he can use them with their imperfections and flaws, surely he can use me. If he can use Samson, who was a womanizer, he can use me too. I am flawed. I am not perfect, but my heart is right. You remember that next time you try to come up and judge me. I ain't perfect, never said I was. But the one thing you'll never say about me is that I'm a liar or that I intentionally hurt anybody. If anything, I have tried to help people. And sometimes I have tried to help people and they've turned on me. And you've seen what they did. They turned on me. Two people that you know about. Because if God can make a ass talk, he surely can put words in my mouth. If he can put words in the mouth of an ass, a four-legged ass, he can surely use me. Because I've been called for such a time as this. And I feel so led by the Spirit to fight on to the end. And to quote Bishop Earl Carter, I ain't tired yet. So, let's get into it. I read to you, I'm going to say it again because it's an important passage. Jude chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. It'll bless you. Now, the big question we got tonight, very simple. Let me put it up here. You don't need to see my face right now while I'm talking. This is the whole crux of the matter tonight. Right there. How does Larry justify attacking LGBT people and child molesters in the church sector when he is alleged to be a part of both groups? Let me read that to you again for the people in the back that ain't listening. How does Larry justify attacking LGBT people, for those of you that are academically challenged, gay folks, and child molesters in the church sector when he is alleged to be a member of both groups? How? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Okay? I'm going to smoke this one a little later. This has got 3 different leaves on it. It's excellent. I saw it in the shop today. I said, I need that tonight. So, let's ask the main question, Larry, because I know you're watching, and you'll probably do another live deflecting, but the interview is coming, sir. You could put an end to all of this. Answer the allegation. If I'm lying, take me to court. But then when you take me to court, all my evidence going to be laid out on the table, Exhibit A, for all eternity. Everybody and their mama going to be able to read about you for the rest of your life. Because I'm going to lay it all on the line. And I'm going to subpoena all your friends. Jordan, Bloomer, all your staff that you claim you got over there, all of them going to get subpoenaed. Including your kids. Because everybody I'm going to call in to the court if you sue me. Everybody getting subpoenaed. Oh yes, I'm gonna clear my name. If you've attacked my character publicly, you've already said you're gonna sue me. You put this lie out, said I threatened you with a gun, and said you were gonna sue me in civil court. You didn't say you were gonna press criminal charges. You said you were gonna sue me in civil court. I haven't been served yet, sir. I'm waiting, because when that subpoena comes, oh boy, it's gonna be good. But anyhow, why won't you address the accusation in the police report? You had a live last night. You talked almost an hour and 40 minutes. But not one time when the people in your chat came to you and asked you about the allegations. You had the block ministry and the block party going full stream ahead last night. Your moderators and everybody and their mama was getting blocked and deleted. Anybody that had the audacity to ask you about the allegation in the police report, they got blocked and deleted. You even called some of the people in your chat ignorant. And you cussed. Your actions show that you're guilty or you got something to hide. If you're innocent, I'm going to show you how you deal with something. When somebody accuses you of something you didn't do, take a book out of my page. When you guys accuse me of the murder plot, you posted the video at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. By 6 o'clock, I put up a response with the actual footage, and I debunked what you did. Y'all got scared and got mad, had my video flagged. YouTube took my video down because you had the audacity to say I was stealing copyrighted material that belonged to me. So then I counterclaimed, had your video taken down. Now you put it back up again. Your boy put it back up again. But see, we already know through a trusted source, a credible source, the only reason you deal with Conscious TV, he does the dirty work that you can't be seen getting your hands dirty with. That's the only reason you even associate with him, because you, back in the day, you said he was a witch. And you're a paper Bible saved preacher, blood washed with the blood of Jesus, but you associate with somebody that practices witchcraft. That's an openly gay man. All that stuff goes against what's in your paper Bible, among other things. But we now know why you associated with him, because you're just like him. He's out in the open, you're just in the closet. But anyway, back to this. Why won't you address, I'm going to say it until it makes you say ouch. Why won't you address what's in that police report? Oh, he forged that document. It's not real. Deflection. Certified copy. Put it up on the internet with the email address and the phone number that you can contact the people to get a certified copy. Now, the full copy, you have to write a letter to the Superior Court judge and get. That's already in the works. I sent that out certified mail, sir. Just waiting. A request for the victim and a copy for me. If they deny mine, he's going to still get it because he's a victim. He has a right to have a full copy. I'll still get it anyway. Why are you lying to your people still? Question number 2. Why are you still lying about returning that the EIDL loan money, that $70,900? Why are you still out here lying saying you returned it? I'll tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. He is lying about that money because he knows if he keeps it, because they've requested his tax returns. And if he does not supply 3 years worth of tax returns, he is going to be on the hook for $70,900 plus whatever penalties they put on him. And they might put him in bracelets. He got that money under false pretenses. He knows it, I know it, and the person that is helping me look into it knows it. And everybody over there at the SBA knows it. He can't give them tax returns because he has not filed taxes since 2015. Now, he has set up nonprofit and Christian organizations, and because you start a church or a religious organization, you're tax exempt. And he's been funneling the monies through those nonprofits so he don't have to pay taxes. But little does dummy know, there are people that I know that work for the IRS and the Treasury Department, the FBI, and what have you, that are investigating him. He thinks he's slicker than oil. This ain't nothing new. Smarter people have tried to pull bigger hustles than you. Bernie Madoff died in prison from a Ponzi scheme, and he was college educated and a billionaire. So you ain't smarter than him, and they caught him, so they're going to catch you too. The feds are just waiting until they get enough charges, so when they hit you with the indictment, it's going to be about this thick. So the best thing you can hope for is taking a plea deal when they come get you. It's coming. But you riding high, you thinking you living a good life. But when the indictments come, United States versus Larry Reid, don't say you ain't been told. So anyway, you practice these numbers and this witchcraft and all this other stuff. Tell the people, Larry, why you all of a sudden feel the need to restructure your business situation over there. You've been talking about it on your lives, and people thought I was joking. You put it in your Patreon for your paying suckers, but I got a copy of it. So here we go, Larry. Larry, tell the people about those organizations right there on the screen. Hallelujah, fix it, Jesus. Look at God. Look at what the cigar vlogger then came across. Below are the links for subscribers and patrons that want to join Reformation Church. I didn't know you had to donate money to join the church. I never heard of that until I read your stuff. To join Reformation Church, that's the new organization that you combine and everything. Be listed as a part of MBN network of ministers. Churches with an S on it, that means you're going to have more than one church? Good gracious. Or businesses. Reformation Inc. memberships form. You click on that link. You got to fill out a form to join a church? Okay. MBN network of churches. There's a form for that you got to fill out. MBN network of businesses. There's a form for that. MBN network of ministers. There's a form for that. So by the time they get down, they just went through 4 forms and ain't no telling how much money. I'm going to leave that up while I talk. Oh, look out, God. Look out, God. Oh, and wait till Earl Carter and all them get a copy of this. Tasha K, I hope you're listening. This your boy. This your boy. Do you want to be attached to a crook and an alleged pedophile? That's bad for your brand, Tasha K. T.S. Madison, don't let that man back on your show no more. Don't let him around you. Because the only reason he around you, I'm going to talk about how he deals with women. The only time a Larry Reid deals with a woman when it benefits him financially. I'm going to give you some examples, T.S. Madison, Miss Madison, while I'm talking later on, I'll give you some examples. Larry only deals with women when it benefits him financially. But pay close attention. Tasha K, you also somebody that benefits him financially. He tried to flower you with those words. Remember those words I read out this Bible? Yeah. Okay, y'all have seen that long enough, but hey, for those of you who want to see this right here, it's going to be over and buy me a coffee. So I'm going to take this off so you can look at me again and I can see what y'all saying in the comments. Praise God. I know. I thought I was the only somebody that saw that. Church is chicken. Churches chicken. That's the one that had an E in it. No, I don't. Just got a apostrophe S. My bad. Miss Moore, E. Bernard Jordan has a degree in astrology. Yes, he does. Oh yes, it's going down. The cigar vlogger got the information. Yes. That's right, Miss Manning. I just love your little haircut. I just love it. I'm gonna have to visit you when I come to Atlanta. So I ain't even got halfway of my sheet. Yeah, it can be stressful, especially if you're doing things the right way. And I'm pretty sure your father was doing things the right way. You saw this a few days ago, Antonio? Yep. So yeah, because it's gonna be in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you feel led, you just want to check them links out. He put it in his Patreon. He don't think I got it, just like I got that video where he was rehashing everything that I've ever put his feet to the fire about last night. He tried to rehash it, but I got you. Instead of answering about the accusation in the police report, he talked about Jimmy Battles last night. He talked about Ayanna Van Zant. Deflection. He talked about E. Dewey Smith. He talked about Victor Cousins. I got you. Don't worry about it, Bishop Cousins. I got you tonight. I got you. I'm going to get him straight. For those, the 500 or so of you in the chat, please, if you haven't done so already, please click like and please share the video. I really appreciate it. You ain't never lied. And I got the facts. I got the loan information over there on my desk right here. I got the police report right over there. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I have all these facts, and I'm an evil villain. And these people, those LRLers, attack me left and right. I ain't never been accused of molesting nobody. I ain't never been accused of stealing no federal funds. I don't have 2 open court cases totaling $600,000. I'm not out here lying, talking about I'm living in a high-end house and all this and this. I'm not beating nobody out no money. I ain't alleged to molest nobody. I don't have open court cases. I'm not scamming and scheming. I'm not in the closet gay. And if it was gay, and that's your business. But the point is, you're lying and deceiving people. You just won't come out and be honest. I haven't done any of these things, but they attack me, but they won't say nothing to their boy. They let their God, because they made him their God, he gets a pass on everything. But because I have the audacity to expose him, they come at me all the time. Go figure. But anyway, back to the program. Yes. He talked about all the old news, but since he wants to bring it up, I'm going to give y'all, for those of you who have never been here before, I'm going to give you the Cliff Note version of what he was trying to talk about, because he left a lot of stuff out. But I'm going to help you so you'll understand the full story. I got you. So, and then he got mad when people asked him in his chat, because they left from over here and went over there. And so many of y'all got blocked last night. They came back laughing about it. It was a badge honor. I just went over there, I got blocked. And they came back, I got blocked too. And they were laughing about it. So you didn't hurt their feelings, Larry, because they knew they was going to get blocked. They just went over there to aggravate you and call you to the carpet. He called his own people in the chat. Some of y'all just ignorant as, and he went off. You said you weren't going to apologize to nobody, because somebody came up in the chat and said, why don't you just apologize to everyone? And that pushed your buttons. Oh my goodness, you went off. I ain't apologizing to nobody. But you apologized half-assed to Darrell Walls in his inbox. You humiliated and attacked him publicly and his family, but you're going to give an apology early in the morning in his inboxes. You didn't attack him in the inbox, you attacked him in public. You should have apologized to him, his daddy, his mama, and his siblings, all in public. You went after them in public. You have yet to even apologize to me. You tried to send me to prison. The only reason you even apologized to that young man yesterday, because when I put that police report out and the victim, one of your victims and your accusers came out forward, and I put them on audio and played it, when I had that combined with the police report and proof of you living in that house and him saying you were the one that did it to him, when I put all that out, you started backpedaling. That's the only reason, because you're trying to deflect and take attention off of what I'm talking about on this here. You wanted to deflect. You're the master deflector. You wanted to draw attention away from that. Well, I did apologize a few days ago, but I forgot to share it with y'all. You didn't have to share it with anybody. You went to that person, and that should have been the end of it. Because what I think the paper Bible says, what you do privately, God will bless you publicly. I know I'm paraphrasing because I'm a heathen that smokes, drinks, and cuss, as you like to put. I'm an evil villain. But I read somewhere that if you do something in private, God will reward you and bless you publicly. But if you do something, then go around and tell everybody what you did, you've already received your reward. I think that's in the Bible. Anyway, not bad for somebody that don't have your seminary education and training. We're going to talk about that too in a minute. Yeah, he's jealous of Darrell Wall. Darrell is openly gay, successful, and loved and respected by people. Things he don't know nothing about. So anyway, before I go any further, those degrees, let me tell you, you know how Larry says he's Dr. Larry Reid? And remember I told you his degrees are bogus, and the all intelligent, we tease him because we tease him, she's the mod of the year, Miss Let Me See Your Transcript, did extensive research, and even did videos showing you how we found out his degrees were bogus, because he claimed he got a master's and a PhD at the same time. We knew that was a lie. For those of us who actually earned a master's degree, those of us that earned a bachelor's degree, those of us who went anywhere past high school, we know that's a lie. Got family members that went to college, we know that's a lie. So anyway, Larry was preaching in his church one Sunday, and in walks Apostle Fort. Apostle Fort, as you know, is the person that founded and ran the school that Larry got his bogus degrees from. Apostle Fort is the guy we make the jokes about. He works at AutoZone because he delivers auto parts, but he's the founder of a Bible school. Apostle Fort is Larry's spiritual advisor before he kicked him to the curb to be with Jordan, because Larry and this man fell out because he didn't approve of what Larry does with LRLers, just like his parents don't. I'll go there to put a thumbnail in that point thing about the parents. I'm coming back to that. In fact, let me check it off on my list right here so I don't forget. Oh yeah, I got to circle that because that's important. Y'all hear about that part, about that piece about the parent. Hold on. Anywho, Apostle Fort, little did I know until I talked to my source, Larry and him are cousins. Larry and him are cousins. Keep that in mind. Apostle Fort's wife and Larry's ex-wife are also cousins. And we already know Chamaco's ex-wife is Larry's cousin. A lot of cousin swapping going on over there. Keep that in mind now. So, Apostle Fort walks in one Sunday. The victim's there. Victim tells me this, a first-hand account. Man walks in with a plaque and a certificate in a frame. Walks in with a plaque. I'm going to say that again while I pull the picture up. Walks in with a plaque. Hello, everybody that's just joining, for the 550 of you that are here. Thank you. Larry, the man walks in with a plaque and a frame. Let me take that down, because I done had enough looking at that, because that's toilet paper right there. He walks in with a plaque and a certificate and a frame, or a degree. Larry don't know what's going on. He said, well, Larry, this is not an honorary degree. You are now and henceforth Dr. Larry Reid, and gives it to him in the church. So all that lie with Larry telling you that he went to school for his doctorate, Larry didn't go to school for that. It was given to him. This bogus degree was just given to him along with a plaque in his church on a Sunday morning. And it was done in front of a room full of people. And one of the people that saw this happen was the victim. Larry didn't know what to do with this piece of paper. He was looking at it, he didn't know what to do with it. Because mind you, Larry don't have no education past high school. Everything that he claiming past high school. Larry goes home, sits in his house, looks around, looks at the victim, looks at the other people in the house, and says this. I'm Dr. Larry Reid now. I can use that to my benefit. It'll help my ministry out. It'll help my music career out. When we travel, he looks over at the musicians and says, now it'll be Dr. Larry Reid and the Breakthrough Singers. And that's exactly what he did. If you look at the old videos of them performing, it was Dr. Larry Reid when he appeared on television singing. It was Dr. Larry Reid and the Breakthrough Singers. All because of that moment. That man walked into his church and gave him a plaque and a bogus degree, and he ran with it. He ain't took nobody class. He ain't did a blessed thing. So that's the story of how Dr. Larry Reid became Dr. Larry Reid. So, but he'll lie and say that ain't what happened. But I have it on excellent authority that is what happened. Dr. Larry Reid got his degree. Somebody passed him a sheet of paper, just like you pass a program in church, and said, this is not honorary. You are Dr. Larry Reid. He ain't wrote nobody's dissertation. He didn't defend his dissertation. He didn't have a committee to help him prepare for defending his dissertation. He didn't stand before a committee where he had to get questioned about his dissertation. None of the stuff that happens in normal academia. None of it. He's not published. He wrote some books, but his dissertation is not published anywhere. To have a legit PhD or doctorate degree, your work has to be published and bound. And it's a fee to do that. Am I right about it? Am I talking right? So, while he got mad on his live, I had to segue that. I had to get that before I forgot about it. Larry, during his video that I watched, he said, everyone had abandoned him. He built Larry Reid Live on his own. He forgot all about Buddha, did all the graphics and all the stuff that helped him get started. He forgot about the fact that Kindle, now that Buddha's gone, keeps it running. He forgot about the fact that when the show first came on, Buddha was his co-host because he wasn't good enough to do it by himself. And when Buddha and him parted ways, then he had Lisa come on. Oh, but here's a little tidbit. He said people abandoned him. He said he left his parents' house at 17 because his own parents turned their backs on him and abandoned him. He said that on his video last night. I have it, Larry. He said he built an empire. He said Larry Reid, at the age of 17, left his parents' house and built an empire. So do you call Larry building an empire, moving from the time you were 7 or 18, moving 36, about to be 37 times, 4 bankruptcies, 13 failed businesses, 2 open lawsuits? You call that building an empire? Well, I don't want an empire then. I don't want it if that's what you call building an empire, sir. Oh, I'm just getting started. That's right. He hadn't published no dissertation, nowhere. But, you know, we ain't on your level. But I'm coming to you. You said your mother and father abandoned you at 17. No, they told you you were full of it, and you didn't like it. So you got in your feelings. So when you was out here telling people you was sleeping in your car, you was sleeping here and there and everywhere, you know, the sob story that you was putting out there, I'm pretty sure they put your tail out. I feel safe in saying that. Educated guess, because I got smart parts. I read between the lines real good. Yeah. You say you built this empire. So let's talk about that empire, Larry Reid. Mind you, I don't talk in rumors and gossip. I talk in facts. Do y'all want to know the origin of Larry Reid Live, the program that you know today, that smut peddling show that he has? Glad you asked me. Here we go. As you know, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a man here that nobody really likes. He's Donald Trump's church lackey. His name is Darrell Scott. Darrell Scott, I don't know if he still has it, but at one time I talked to Marcellus about it. He had a radio show. It was the forerunner of what you see now, Larry Reid Live. Larry Reid Live is patterned after Darrell Scott's radio show. How do I know that? Glad you asked me again. Hallelujah. Y'all on it tonight. Glad you asked me again for the crippled children and the people in the back. Darrell Scott had an administrative assistant. I hope I'm saying her name right. It's Latria. He mentioned her in the other video a few days ago. I tried to dog her. Latricia, not Latrice. Lateria, something like that. Starts with an L. Anyway, I'll look at it again when I talk to my source. Darrell Scott and this lady fell out. Larry scooped her up. She came over and helped, working along with Buddha, to set this whole Larry Reid Live thing up. Well, how did that happen? What, Darrell, you're missing some parts of the story. Glad you asked again, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Larry Reid went to New York City, him, Kendall, and Buddha for about 6 months. They were living in New York. While they were in New York, they met 2 preachers. One you know very well. His name is Senegal. And some other guy named Oren something. I don't know these preachers' names, but Marcellus knows them well. Oren Hutchins or something like that, and his wife, him and his wife, and Senegal. Larry fell out with all of them. But during the time when he met these 3 people, he got connected with Darrell Scott. That's how he got the Darrell Scott Cleveland connection. And the rest is history. And then he met, when Darrell Scott and his assistant fell out, Larry hooked up with her, and they started the LRL thing. And then Buddha did all the technical stuff, like this stuff you see right here on my screen that Marcellus helped me do. Buddha did stuff like that for Larry. The graphics and the movements, animations, and all that stuff. That's all Buddha's work. Larry wouldn't know how to turn a microwave on unless somebody was standing next to him. Like, no, hit the button with the popcorn pitch on it. Yeah. So Buddha, everything you see, that's Buddha's fruit of Buddha's labor. But he comes out in the public space and says he created this empire all by himself. That's a narcissist. He doesn't give credit to anybody. They helped him. They helped him. And he was romantically involved with Buddha at one time. And as recent as 2019, he proposed marriage to Buddha. Until Buddha shut it down. Just stay with me, Cammy. You'll know these people. Buddha, I will show you some pictures. Oren Pullings, that's the name. I'm so sorry. I'm saying Hutchinson. Lord have mercy. I'm thinking about somebody else. It's an R&B singer. Never mind. Yeah, or in pullings. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. So, yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, Larry and Daryl Scott fell out, which ain't hard because both of them is jackasses. Ain't no shocker there. So, I've worked you halfway of my notes tonight so far. So, Larry still won't, I'm going to go back to it again. Larry still wouldn't address the accusation of the police report. What did he do instead? Glad you asked. Larry brought up Jimmy Battles and George Bloomer, and how he hung up on Larry because, Jimmy, because he mentioned Bloomer's name, and he said, I don't do that on my platform without proof. You just can't accuse somebody. But don't he do that all the time? What's good for the goose, good for the gander. But let me give you the backstory for the people in the bushes and people that are new. The reason Larry Reid shut that down that night when Jimmy called in, for one, he knew Jimmy was calling in ahead of time because he told Jimmy to call in. He gave Jimmy the number. Jimmy don't lie. I got the audio right here to prove that Larry knew. 10 hours worth of audio courtesy of Jimmy Battles. Some of you heard when he called Jimmy a B. He called Shirley Caesar's church the whorehouse for the gays of all types. All that. That's on there. But I got 10 hours of Larry Reid and Bloomer and Jordan and Jimmy Battles and Luther McKinstry right there. And in other places, in a safety deposit box, in parts unknown, in case something mysteriously happens. There's a copy. So anyway, the Jimmy Battles was violated by George Bloomer. He went to Larry to help him get his story out. Unbeknownst to Jimmy, that was a conflict of interest for Larry Reid. That's the real reason Larry wouldn't do his story. But he led Jimmy to believe that he was going to help him. All along, he knew he wasn't because he was in Jordan's pocket. Jordan and Bloomer and Larry were doing a prophetic college. And if that story of Jimmy Battles got out, it would ruin the prophetic college. It would never happen. Nobody would attend a prophetic college hosted by a man that sexually molested teenage boys and beat one of them with a belt until he submitted to his sexual advances. And that young man later committed suicide because he never got over the trauma of that event. They couldn't let that get out. So Larry Reid's assignment was to suppress that story, at least suppress it long enough for the prophetic college to make money and to kick off. So he led Jimmy astray, strung Jimmy along. Jimmy got wise because Jimmy's a smart man, realized what Larry was doing, pulled his story. Then Larry starts attacking him and his credibility and dragging him through the dirt publicly. He goes over to Jives. This is one of the reasons Jives, among other things, that Jives and Larry fell out. Jives was getting ready to do the story, but Jives wouldn't do the story the way Jimmy wanted, and him and Jimmy fell out. So Jimmy pulled his story again. Somebody, I ain't gonna say his name, told Jimmy, hey, this a guy over here, he got a small following, but he's honest. He'll do your story. That's how me and Jimmy got into contact with one another. I did Jimmy's story. I did it the way Jimmy wanted, and I didn't upset or hurt Jimmy. Jimmy was telling his story. He relived all the trauma all over again like it was just happening, and I was sensitive to that. I was patient with Jimmy. Jives wasn't. Jives wanted to use Jimmy's story as a weapon to get back at Larry because he was mad at Larry because Larry, William McRae, and Jives were supposed to do a show together. Larry used William McRae's following. He had a large following at that time, and Buddha shut all his pages and stuff down at Larry's behest. We got the proof. And he threw Jives on the bus. He said, well, I can't do a show with an openly gay man who's been put out of the Kojic church, and you got lawsuits, William McRae, and your sexuality is questionable. All along, it was just been 3 gay men doing a church panel, because he's just as gay. The only difference, Jives is openly gay, William McRae is still in denial, and so is Larry Reid. But we got evidence of William McRae stuff because it's all on the internet. That's another story. But I'm bringing you up to speed. Jives and him fell out. I got the story. Then Jives fell out with me because I did the story, and he fell out with me because Andrea was poisoning his ear on me. That's why Jives turned on me like he did. Conscious was sitting in the wings because Conscious helped destroy William McRae and have him served with court papers. So Conscious then, because Jives was in love with Conscious, and Conscious knew that and used that to his advantage. He suckered him. That boy was on a show crying about him. Larry used Conscious, as I said, according to a credible source. He only deals with Conscious because Conscious does his dirty work the same way he does Jordan's dirty work. He goes out, sets Larry Jives up. They take Larry Jives' Patreon and all this stuff down, shut him down, got him shook, got him scared. He runs away. I do the story. The rest is history. Old boy goes off and try to threatening to kill himself. They sent him out the country for a while to get his head clear. His lawyer tried to serve me with a cease and desist. I told him to go to hell and take his pedophile client with him. And I haven't heard from them sons of guns since. Anyway, let me fill you in. Andrea Garrison doing the prophetic college. Mind you, all this is going on at the same time. She goes up, pretends she's a woman off the street. Jordan pays her $3,500. The women feel sorry for her. They give her an extra $1,500, $2,000. She walks away with about $5,500. Larry gets in his feeling because he thought he was going to get a cut of that. All this is going on, and then Andrea Garrison comes out and accuses Victor Cousins of sexually assaulting her, and then she runs with the story. She's filing these bogus court cases. She's got the Christian Post in her pocket. Larry Reid jumps on the bandwagon because he got contacts at the Christian Post because they've done a lot of articles that either about Larry Reid or involve Larry Reid. He saw this as an opportunity to boost his brand up some more. Mind you, thank you, LaTracy. Thank you. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Mind you, Andrea then promised this fool that once she gets this, that she got $1.2, $1.5 million settlement. She done told this fool she gonna give him $600,000, and he believed it. Cause see, she from the streets, so he gullible. So he was all, and when he saw the dollar signs, mind you, I told you, somebody said Larry only deals with women when it benefits him financially. He saw her as a gold mine. Because that $600,000 that she was promising him, that's why he got so angry with her and started calling her vixens and Jezebels. He was going to take that $600,000 and pay off them court cases that he had with E. Dewey Smith and John Kelsey Stephen, which just so happened to also equal $600,000. So then he wouldn't have had to beg and do the telethon and go to Jordan to get the money to go pay them bills off. But when she reneged on that promise, that left him swinging in the wind, and he got mad, and he went after her. She wasn't credible, and and her story didn't add up. But it added up while you was out there on the Christian Post, and you was doing interviews with her, and you were doing her story. She was credible then, and she was also credible when you told her that the Lord, that's when they say, whenever you say, I had a dream or a vision, you said the Lord told you that she was going to be your wife. No, them $600,000 that she promised you said that she was going to be your wife. You had dollar signs in your eyes. You didn't have love in your heart and in your mind. You had money on your mind. That's what happened. So that didn't work out. And then go back years ago when you was trying to be engaged with that older minister that's from over in London, the Jamaican lady. She had a bunch of churches and a large following in ministry, and you were trying to marry her to merge your ministry and increase your ministry. And when the word got out that she was engaged to you, a lot of her supporters and followers started attending your church, and your membership grew. But when y'all broke up, they left. So you was back down to 25, 30 people like you was before. When you was with your ex-wife Lisa them 2 to 3 times, she's a military veteran. She had steady income. You wasn't working nowhere. So when your money got funny, you was leaning on her check because you refused to work. She got that house that this alleged incident took place in, that there's a police report for, and that's the house that ended up getting foreclosed on. She was paying all the bills. Then when she one day stood up to you and said she wasn't going to give you no money no more, you had the locks changed while she was at work, and you was laid up in the house with your armor bearer over your children. I digress. Anyway, back to the story. But that's just to give you up to speed. I hope that wasn't too fast for y'all. But that's the cliff note that Larry wasn't going to tell you last night. So that all you people in the bushes, go back over there. He going to block you. But at least get it out there. Say, Larry, the cigar vlogger said, hey, don't. And you can feel free to rewind this video and write notes down. So when you type it as I said it. Because he going to get mad. He going to block you. And then you'll come back and be like, yeah, he blocked me, Daryl. You ain't lie. Because I don't lie. So, he tried to discredit Jimmy. Jimmy's story got out. But it got out after they did their little prophetic college. But you notice they haven't done another one. And here's another thing you didn't know. Larry Reid do not like George Bloomer. Never has. He's always been jealous of Bloomer. Larry was preaching in Raleigh, in Fayetteville, then Raleigh. Bloomer had a church. He left Shirley Caesar's church, started his own thing right there in Durham. He's always been jealous. Because back in the day, when Larry was up there in Carolina, Bloomer was rolling big. You know, when they had the investigation of these preachers with these private jets and all this money, when the feds started investigating people like Kenneth Copeland and Creflo Dollar, all them people, Bloomer had a private jet. And to make side hustle money, he would rent his jet out to the hospitals in the area, like when they were doing organ transplants, and they need to get an organ somewhere real quick. He would let them use it. They was paying him about 20, 30 bands of, well, young folks say bands, $20,000, $30,000 a week for the use of his jet when he wasn't flying nowhere. When it was just sitting parked, instead of it just being parked, he would let them use it. And he would charge them $20,000, $30,000 a week. Add that up, times 52. Nice little chunk of change. Ain't it? Ain't it? That's a lot of money, ain't it? So, Larry's always hated any successful preacher or gospel artist. He don't like Bloomer. He's never liked Bloomer. Them rumors about Bloomer was always out there. But Larry's was never out there until I got a hold of it. It's always been whispers in the wind, but nobody had receptacles, as he say. Nobody had police report. Nobody had a witness willing to come forward and say, yeah, this is what he did to me, until the cigar vlogger came. Until David came to slay Goliath. Right here. So anyway. Let's see, what she say? Hold on. It's going to get better, Marguerite. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. So, he don't like Bloomer. Bloomer don't like him. Jordan don't like Bloomer. If you look at the video when the first time the three of them came on and talk about the prophetic college, look at the facial expression and how they were sitting. The body language. They did not, but they needed George Bloomer. They are up. What I read in the Bible about them, they needed Bloomer. Why did they need Bloomer? Glad you asked. Bloomer was on the Word Network before that whole thing fell out. So they were using him to get access to get on the Word Network, because they were going to try to parlay this whole prophetic college thing into a show on the Word Network. Mind you, when George Bloomer, before he fell out with the Word Network, he was their #1 draw. He was #1 on the Word Network. He had his own talk show. He had his church service on there. He was running things over there. He was their #1 cash cow until the whole thing with him and the dude fell out. Mind you, Larry Reid has tried to set me up 2 times. Larry Reid put it out in public spaces that the Word Network owner, that billionaire Jewish white dude, was using me to try to tear Bloomer down. That man he could hire an entire law firm to destroy Bloomer if he wanted. He don't need me. Somebody at the time, I only had 800 followers. I wasn't even monetized. But he gonna tell people in the public space that the Word Network owner hired me, was sliding me money under the table to go after Bloomer with the Jimmy Battle story. That's what he put out in public spaces to try to discredit me and Jimmy Battles, because they had to, at all costs, shut Jimmy Battles' story down so that they could have their prophetic college and make their little money. And they were going to try to parlay it into an ongoing thing every 3 months or so, whatever they were going to do. And they were going to rotate it around the country and have conferences. And then hopefully they're going to try to get it on the Word Network. And that's why they needed George Bloomer. But when George Bloomer fell out, then the first week or so, Jordan was like, oh yeah, we're going to all boycott the Word Network. He was out there big time fanning the flames. Let's boycott the Word Network. So you saw that didn't get anywhere, right? Because when the truth got out about Bloomer, Jordan got ghosted and bagged up. Then he became a liability and no longer an asset. They didn't need him anymore because he served no purpose. He couldn't get them the access that they wanted, ladies and gentlemen. So they started doing this, and you notice they didn't have any more prophetic whatevers for a long time. Then when my story got out, Jimmy's story got out, and I put it out there, he got suicidal. All of a sudden, he started preaching over in the Bahamas. Then he went to South Africa and some other place, out the country, trying to figure things were going to die down. When he got back, it was just as hot as it was before, because I had circulated to the Christian Post and all these other people. All of this was going on while Andrea Garrison was out here scandalizing and lying on Victor Cousins. And Larry was mad. Larry was rocking hard with her in the beginning when he thought he was going to get $600,000, when he realized he couldn't use that money to pay his E. Smith and John Kelsey Stephen bill off. He started calling her Jezebels and Vixens and called him the Victor. And he threw him under the bus last night again, talking about his business was raggedy. What about your business, Larry? You raggedy than a bowl of chili. But you gonna call somebody else raggedy? Come on, brother. Come on now. Let me put this headset over here so I can get comfortable. You just had to take some more shots at Victor Cousins. Because Victor Cousins, even though he got knocked all the way down, lost thousands of members. But he failed, but he didn't cuss his God and die. He was just like Job. And now he bouncing back. He done wrote a book. He gone back to school. Him and his wife is just solid as a rock. And out of the ashes, he gonna rise again. And everybody that attacked him, like a Larry Reid, police reports is coming out. Interviews with accusers is coming out. He was vindicated. Charges dropped. No proof. Dismissed. And the person accusing him, when I investigated, because I felt led by the Spirit after she turned on me, she has open warrant in this state. She can't set foot in Ohio without running the risk of getting locked up. The fugitive squad went looking for her in New York City, but she got out the back door and went down the fire escape and down the block. And the only reason they didn't come back because COVID kicked off real big that week. But now that their mayor is letting things up again, they coming back, Andrea. Yeah. You're going to be, I'm going to come see you in an orange jumpsuit. Anyway, so all of this is going on at the same time. But how did we know Andrea got over there with Victor Cousin anyway? Greg Davis, because I've done videos about how Greg Davis would pimp her out. And I got the audio. You heard it. Folks got mad about the audio. You heard it. So, I don't lie over here. I have the receipts. Then Larry didn't like Greg Davis. Then all of a sudden this past year, I wonder what changed. Money. When he got accused of fathering a child with a 25-year-old young lady, and he's 65, and his oldest daughter is 45, he called her whores and vixens. Now, you don't know how to play your position. This is the Reverend Dr. Larry Reid, the right Reverend Doctor, calling women in the church whores and Jezebels and witches. Go figure. Let me get my throat a little dry. Excuse me. For those of you in here, please click like. What's that? Okay, put them right there. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please click like and share. Thank you. God bless all you. God bless the little children, one and all. So, this is just a Cliff Note version. I know I'm talking, but I wanted to make sure y'all get the truth for those of you in the bush. The people that normally over here with me, they know all this already. I want to bring the rest of you up to speed. So, Andrea Garrison Thought I was something to play with. She helped Larry Reid with the murder plot. And the Rooster Boy that I always post. Everybody laugh about. Rooster Boy, synthetic parking lot thought hairband down in South Carolina. And Conscious Larry Rooster Boy. David Fennell is his name. Davion Charles DeMille Augustus, Conscious TV, Andrea Garrison, and Larry Reid. At the behest of Larry Reid. They did that. And I shut it down. Andrea was out here still talking trash. So what did I do? Because y'all know I got smart parts. I emailed Andrea Garrison. I said, Andrea Garrison, this is your address. Sent her a picture of her building where she lived. All the surrounding areas, the stores and everything. Because I knew the area well because I walked there when I lived up in New York. I said, this is your building. You live on the 4th floor. I ain't seen or heard from her since. Till the other day when she jumped in Larry's Patreon comments talking about you, because Larry was talking about I apologize. She said that shows growth. What about your growth? You got the longest pregnancy in the history of upright walking human beings. Because how you got to be pregnant when we all know you got a full hysterectomy after your last child, but you put it in this man's head that you was pregnant with his baby, a 52-year-old Jewish man who ain't never had no black loving. But every man you've ever been with, you always, just when they get ready to cut you loose, you pop up with the pregnancy story, or you accuse them of sexually assaulting you or something, or beating you up. Then when I found out you claiming 2 kids, but we found out you got 4. Your oldest 2 kids, your great-grandmother, that one got that child. He's in high school. The other one should be in middle school now. Grandmama got him. Played that audio for everybody. So you got 4 kids out there, but you only claim 2. And then your new Jewish boyfriend threatened me on the phone one day. So what did I do? Because I'm from them streets, and he ain't about that life. And he's from Cleveland. So I just looked him up, looked his mama and them, and daddy dead. God rest his soul. I looked him up. I found out where his mama lived, went right over there, did a live. Y'all saw it. Went right up in front of that building. I said, this is where Andrea's soon-to-be mother-in-law lives, and I pointed to the building. Then I drove down the street. I said, this is where her future brother-in-law is a slumlord. The 2 brothers own this building right here that's condemned by the city. They about to push it down. In fact, they have already pushed it down and took the land back. And then I drove downtown by the Indian Stadium and showed where the brothers' office was. I didn't have time that day because I had to go to class, or I would have drove all the way out to the brother's house. And after that, and I sent all the information about Andrea, her open arrest warrants and all that. I sent it certified mail to her fiance's mother. I have not heard from them since. I wonder why. So I said all that to say this. You don't want this, because I'll tell you where your ancestors are buried. I tell people all the time, leave me alone. Go on get now. But she popped up the other night, and sucking up to Larry again. So, Andre, if you're listening, because I know you are, I ain't going to tell you no more. Because that jump squad going to come get you, little girl. She said, that's called accountability and growth. Quote. And then somebody else said, wow, I don't know the details of this story, but it said so much about a man who can admit a mistake and apologize. Talking about Larry apologizing to Darryl Walls in his inbox instead of apologizing publicly. And then Larry Reid comes behind it and says, Andrea Garrison, bingo. So, she trying to show up again. She does this every 6 months. Something like that. Come over here and mess with me if you want to, little girl. I'll send that damn fugitive arrest squad at your door again. Because I got your address. I'll contact the Manhattan precinct. Give them your address. It's right round the corner, not too far. They ain't got nothing to do because the streets is almost empty. They roll right up on you. You like to sit on the fire escape, smoke your reefers. They'll come get you. And your kids will go to family services. Or to their daddy. Their daddies. This ain't what you want. That's all I'm going to tell you. She accused Victor Cousin of distributing a sex tape. There was no sexual assault. There was no sex tape. It was all lies. Then she tried to say that she was pregnant. At one time, she was trying to claim she was pregnant by Victor Cousin. Victor Cousins, this baby was sure enough been named Jesus Cousins. Andrea had a hysterectomy after her last child was born. And Victor Cousin, he didn't even have to tell us. He told me and Marcel. He had a vasectomy almost 15, 20 years ago. That baby would have been named Jesus Cousins. There was no sex tape. She didn't go to Hamilton County, which is Cincinnati. She went to the small court that's in the area where Victor Cousins' house is, Bishop Cousins, and she lied and said, oh, he sexually assaulted me. But because she got in somebody's ear and convinced them to investigate, so they did bring him up on, they didn't even charge the man with sexual assault. He was charged with cyberbullying, harassment via the internet. He wasn't charged with any sex crime. He was charged with a misdemeanor. Harassment via the internet. Because she claims he threatened her. Man didn't threaten her. Now some of his kinfolks wanted to put them paws on her. And they let it be known that she getting served on site if she roll up in Cincinnati. So that's what she ran over there and said, they threatened to do something to me. So they brought him into court. The news camera was there. He was sitting there like, because he was going through that and the loss of all his members, all this at the same time. And Larry Reid putting these lies out on him and doing the story. I only talk about what's already out there. Dragging. But then when he found out he wasn't getting no money, he found out Andrea lied about a cash settlement because she had told him that she got an insurance settlement from the church suing the church. She ain't getting nothing because there was no lawsuit. Larry had bagged up by this point. So she goes down. She has me thinking that she's really been hurt. And Jives had fell out with her by this point. She had gone through Larry, Jives. They had fell out with her. She came to me. That's another reason Jives got mad with me. I helped this girl, and this is a documented fact. I helped this girl. I let her come on my platform. She told her story. But I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to ask Bishop Cousin, does he want to talk? And I got in contact. I reached out to him, and he gave me his number. He called me right back. We got each other's number. We talked because his daughter goes to my school. So anyway, because of the video I did went viral. Christian Post did another interview with her. The Cincinnati Enquirer newspaper picked her story up. After the news camera, she went down there sitting there telling me, I can't be in the courtroom at the same time as Victor because I fear for my safety. She had all of us thinking that she was doing this legislation for sex victims. And she had the con all the way down. And we started investigating. Well, I'm going to tell you that. Marcellus started investigating. Then he pulled my ear like, hey, boy, you being suckered. You being suckered. He was like, Daryl, wake up. Because I wasn't, she wasn't trying to come on to me and none of that. It was just, my heart, I feel sorry for people. And I didn't know Bishop Cousin at the time. But something that said, there's two sides to every story. And I know what it's like to be accused of something you didn't do. So I said, let me go over here and talk to this man. And at least give him the opportunity to come on my platform. And when she found out I did that, she got hot with me. And that's when I heard the other side of the story. Complete with evidence. And he put me in touch with other men that she had scammed and hustled. All the way back, I did a whole series, about 9 or 10 videos about that. All the men she done left in her wake. And the babies she's accused men of. And the sexual assault accusations. Everything. That's how I found the other 2 kids. That's how I ended up talking to the grandmama of one. That's how we did all that. That's the original Surviving Somebody series. It was Surviving Andrea Garrison. I did like up to episode, what was it, episode 9? Yeah. So for those of you, those are the people on Larry Reid's side. So I'm filling you in how they all tie together. The North Carolina crew that he traveled everywhere with and the ones he's met along the way in social media land. Those are the people. The cigar vlogger. One man, me, was going against all them big old land of the giants over there. And just when they thought they had me with that fake allegation, Roxanne and Kimberly came, then Roxanne, and then Marcellus started. He's like, God put it on their heart to come help me. And we've been, ever since, we've been the 18. And we've been lighting them up ever since. The vlogger got you. The vlogger got you. Ever since. That's where we've been. Anyway, it gets better. Andrea realizes that we were on to her. Then she disappears. Why did she disappear? Glad you asked. Andrea was ready to tell Larry Reid a new one. She said she had emails and all this stuff that she was ready to release. And then she kept promising Marcellus that she was going to do him, give it to him. Marcellus knew she was lying because he had already peeped the game. She gets mad with Marcellus and tries to turn us against Marcellus. I was like, oh no, I ain't turning against Marcellus. Marcellus got my back when these jokers tried to throw me all the way up under the bus, called me crazy and all this and this. When she saw that wouldn't work, then Larry Reid, one day she was out with her fiance eating dinner. Larry calls her. Then all of a sudden she has a come to Jesus moment. Well, Larry and I agreed to not talk about each other. I'm not going to put that information out. We're friends now. And then she tried to say, Faye, offline, well, I ain't said we was friends. I just said we agreed to not do anything. But she was grinning and skinning. She went on his show and dogged me out. Why did she all of a sudden flip the script? Glad you asked again, ladies and gentlemen. She flipped the script again because Larry found out what I later found out, and he was using it to blackmail her about the 2 kids that she wasn't claiming that she had. He knew about it. He knew Victor Cousins. He had found out that Victor Cousins hadn't done what she said. But then I found out, and before he could use that information to make her do what he wanted, I put the cat out the bag. So he got rid of her. You notice they weren't talking, mentioning each other, doing nothing together. But the one thing he did use her for before he got rid of her, that fake murder plot. She called me at 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday night. Recorded part of my voice, gave the audio because she had Conscious on the other line. He was recording, and the Fennell boy and him chopped it up, and they did a video. It put up by 3:30 that morning. It had 3,000 views. By 6 in the morning, I had flagged it. That next day, it was down. But by that time, it had like 6,000, 7,000 views. People calling me all kind of murderers. Oh, my God, and he's going to kill Larry Reid and all that. That's what all of them did. And then, right after that, I went full ham on Andrea. That's when our addresses, where she worked, where she lived, everything. The babies, the fake babies, the jilted lovers who were coming forward. And she was like, oh, my God, his went deep. But she was still shooting off at the mouth. And then I dropped a big joke on her in the spade game. Bam! I emailed, I said, this is your address, this is your apartment number. And I sent her a diagram of what her apartment looks like. Because it's a 1-bedroom apartment, but 4 people living up in there. And that building is co-op. You can either rent or own. If you bought the space that she was in, it was running about $900,000. And I know he didn't have that kind of money. He was making good money, but he didn't make that kind of money. And then when I found out it wasn't even in his name, it was in his mammy name. Because his brothers here, with their bad business deal being slumlords, they were all bankrupt. His parents went bankrupt trying to cover for the 3 of them screwing up. And when I put all that in the email, complete with a diagram of, okay, this is what the hallway to get to your bedroom, to the bathroom, all that. This is what the outlay of that building is. So I said, the feds is coming. I thought they would need a diagram of what's inside. And she got scared and she went away. Because she knew I wasn't bluffing at that point. I had a full diagram of what her twist and turn of that actual unit. Because I don't play. When I tell you to leave me alone, that's what I mean. Because I will come get you. This ain't what you want. I go to school studying legal stuff. I graduate next month, paralegal certificate. I got my undergraduate degree, a real degree, Larry Reid, political science, pre-law. I got my master's degree in education administration. This ain't who you want to fool with. I have been doing research since 1987. I will light you up. I know how to pull records. I know how to do record request forms. I know the law. This ain't who you want to fool with. But y'all keep coming. You middle school dropouts, y'all keep coming over here bothering me. I don't know who Tisha White is, but I'm glad y'all, Tita, that's just one of Larry people. I love when they come over here. Because when I see the replay, I'm going to just be laughing. But anyway, for the 700 of you that are here with me, please click like and share. I really appreciate you. But it gets better. I haven't even got down here yet. Yeah. Oh, I did talk about that part. And I did do the Victor Cuss. Okay, I'm almost to the end, y'all, because y'all will be out here in a minute. My sources who've dealt with Larry in the Carolina days, and even now, they said the same thing. Larry uses astrology and numbers. He gives it a spiritual twist, just like when I read in the Bible from Jude chapter 1, verses 1 through 25. He uses spirituality to scare people or control them mentally. That's what he do. That's what he uses. He twists the scriptures. He uses, for those of you, the number 12 and the number 8 is new beginning, $8.88 or $88.88, on up. And this conference they got, it's $4,800 and something dollars and 88 cents and all these 8s and stuff. You know, that's my number. And that's that, like them people had them dream books. You know, the old day they had them dream books and they go play the numbers. That's what he do. He's taking fleshly stuff and giving it a spiritual twist. And if you don't go along, you don't give him your money in Patreon because he's lying to you and you paying to be lied to. He gives it a spiritual twist and makes you feel convicted and guilty if you don't give him your money. Or he exiles you like he did in his church. If you did something or said something he didn't like, he exile you from the church and forbid the rest of the people in the church from associating with you, just like the Jehovah's Witness people do. That's what he does. And that's where we are. And I hope I brought you up to speed. So now that I brought you all up to speed, yes, El, I sure can. I'm glad somebody, that's a good question, because I'm thinking I should do a video about it. As you know, I'm interning at a law firm. They specialize in elderly law. If you've ever, no matter where you worked since you've been an adult, whatever state you've lived in, I need you to get a sheet of paper and write it down, whatever state you've ever lived in and worked. Every state has what's called unclaimed funds department. If you go on your state website, any state you've lived in and worked, they have unclaimed funds. You fill out your name, put in your information. They might ask you for your old address, where you lived at the time. So if you've had several addresses, start looking on them addresses based on the jobs you had. Because like, say if you paid into a 401k or stock investments or whatever, and you forgot all about it, it might have been a little small amount, and you left a job and quit and didn't even think about it, forgot all about the money. After 5 years, the company you work for, they're required to turn the money over to the state. And just imagine, in 5 years' time, how much interest might have accrued. And they turn over to the state. The state's not going to tell you that money's sitting there. It's your job to go find out if it's there. And once you find out it's there, you request your money be sent to you. I found a few dollars I had laying around since the 90s in Atlanta. I was looking up my parents. My parents had stuff, helped them find their little money. My brother, my nephew. Strange thing, it was a case we were dealing with. The father and the mother died. They had one child. He never married or had children. They had invested in all kinds of stocks and stuff, and it just kept accumulating. And the people, they lived like hoarders. They died, the three of them, the parents and the son, and they had no next of kin. So we're out here looking for next of kin. They died with $375,000 sitting in the state. And we sitting there now trying to find a next of kin to give that money to. And that's not just one isolated case. There are thousands of cases like that. You thinking that person, that old person next door to you is broke or they live in miserly, but when they die, they have thousands of dollars. Because one lady we dealt with, she donated 1/10 of her money to 2 Catholic churches and then that Catholic television network. She gave 8 or 9% to them. And then she gave her person that cut her grass, gave him $60,000. And somebody that did her shopping for him, she got another $60,000. You don't know what people got out there. So check with your state to see if you got money. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. So see, I don't just come over here and do that. For those that, well, you're going to have some more content. I just gave you some content within the content. I'm telling you how to get your free money back from the state. It's sitting there. Everybody on this chat right now, you got some money. If you worked in California, you live in New York now, you live in Atlanta. You got money in Atlanta probably. If you stopped the job, if you've been living there a long time, over 5 years, you got money in Georgia, you got money where you left. It's just sitting there. It might just be $30, $40. It might be $300, $400. It might be a couple $1,000. But when you go on the website, it's going to tell you if the amount is over $100 or if it's under $100. It ain't going to give you the exact amount because you got to show proof that that's actually you before they release the funds. And it's not going to happen like that. It's going to take a couple of months. But I say 3 months, you should have your money tops. Unclaimed funds. Go to any state website and type unclaimed fund, like for here I say unclaimed funds Ohio. It'll pop up. Now I fill out, but I haven't been on for no job because I haven't even been here. But well, I've been here 7 years into this month. But yeah, I came over. I was still self-employed, so I ain't no money sitting in Ohio. Now Georgia was money for me in Alabama. But yeah, do that. But anyway. Now, back now, I've given that my good deed for the day. Oh, what's the link for that? Hold on. Oh, you talking about for Marcellus? Let me see here. Oh, hold on. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to just show you the one for Ohio real quick. Hold on. I'm going to show you this one real quick, y'all. And this is unclaimed funds. This is unclaimed funds for Ohio. Just to give you an idea of what it's about. You go in there and you click on that tab right there. And that's how you get started. You put your name in, or unclaimed funds is not only for people, it's for a business. And you start your search right there. Just a little, that's just Ohio. Just to give you an idea. You just type in unclaimed funds for whatever state you live in. And then you're off to the races. Oh, New Jersey actually tells you how much it is. Okay. Well, that's different. I've never known that. But I know certain states, they'll say it's over this threshold, it's under this threshold, because, because there's so many people like, I ain't going to say, yes, I'm going to say his name, I'm talking about. There's people out there that are unethical, allegedly, and they have people attached to them who have open warrants and stuff for fraud, like Andrea Garrison, who had cases, credit card fraud and things of that nature, like that are attached to him. I ain't gonna say no names. I'm just gonna point. I ain't gonna say no names, but people that had credit card fraud issues and got arrested for it. I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't gonna say no names though. And then there are people in South Carolina that had, fraud charges and things of that nature. I ain't gonna say no names though. Praise his name though. And his name is Jesus, Prince of Peace. So, yeah. But yeah, because the reason they don't release certain things, because there are people that are dishonest who will try to obtain your funds. They do things like breaking into mailboxes, trying to get addresses and pertinent information. Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you. Please support Roxanne. We're trying to get her up to 1,000, get her monetized. That's our goal. She has some great content. Please check her out. She'll be on this weekend. Please check her out. Please, please, please. You know Kim's going to be on Saturday. Roxanne comes on Saturday. I think I may do something else Sunday. Ooh. Because my phone is buzzing, so I'm going to see what's going on. Thank you to everybody that bought me a coffee tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you for the cash apps. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. God bless you. God bless you, Tiny Tim. Anyhow, so please support my sister. Please click on her. Yep, and that's unclaimed property for those of you that live in New Jersey. That's just a sample. All the websites, your state website might be a little different. It just depends. So, again, I just want to ask the question, sir. Why? Why won't you address, Larry, the accusation in the police report? It makes you look very suspect, no pun intended. It makes you look very guilty. It makes it look like you got something to hide, especially when you're on this world tour that you claim you're on. Oh, I'm on vacation and I'll be back. I'm in Kentucky. I know who's in Kentucky. I'm not gonna put his name out there, Larry, because he's a civilian. I don't attack civilians, but I know who you there with. That's all I'm gonna say. I know who you there with. And then Tasha K was batting for you until she found out, she heard that young man's voice, and he said, yes, Larry was the one who did that to me in that house. And I said, and she saw the police report and all that. Then all of a sudden, the message that she put in my chat, she deleted it. I think Miss Tasha K is going to start distancing herself from you, sir, because you're bad for her business. You're bad for her brand. And we know how much Tasha K loves her brand. And she's not going to have you tarnish that or mess with her coins. No, no, no. You are about to become a pariah. And Jordan is going to get rid of you real soon because you're now a liability and no longer an asset, sir. He's going to get rid of you too. But why won't you answer not my allegation, the allegation from one of your accusers with the S on the end and the police report? Why? Why? Because let me show you what I did. I want you to look at my face when I talk to you, Larry. When y'all tried to set me up, I immediately didn't hesitate the next day. Later on that day, rather, I addressed it head on. I said, I didn't do that. They're lying. And I didn't run away from it. I didn't flinch. I didn't back up. I didn't do no double talk. I looked right into the camera. I was sitting over there. I said, they are lying. I didn't do that. That's not what I said. This is what I said. And I played what I said. You have yet to do that. Why? Glad you asked, y'all. You can't lie or debunk a certified copy of a police report with your address on it. You can't debunk, you can try to say he's lying, is your word against his, but with your reputation, if it goes inside of a courtroom, your reputation is lower than whale poop. And that's at the bottom of the ocean. You don't have a good name and reputation. You have open lawsuits for slander and defamation of character, and you're liable. You have open lawsuits right now. And then for a young man to come out and say you touched him forcibly from the time he was 14 to the time he was 17, you know, depending on what the prosecutor may decide to do, they might charge you with rape. Because the young man that's accusing you lived with you, and he had nowhere to go. He was a minor, and you forced yourself upon him. There's a laundry list of charges. The DA might bump them charges up to a whole laundry list. Forcible touching, rape, sodomy, child molestation, you name it. You might be looking at the long ride. But you like to get out in front of stories and deflect. You wouldn't even talk about that last night. People was in your comments asking you, why won't you address it? Your followers, not me, not the people in the bushes. I don't even go over there. But you deleted and blocked everybody that asked, including some of your LRLers, and you cussed and said they was ignorant. All because they asked you one question. The same thing. Wait, sound kind of familiar, don't it? I asked you one question 2 years ago. Did you take a bribe? And I didn't ask you publicly. I asked you in private. I sent you a text message. I sent you an email. And then you got back on your show and tried to clown me on your show. I asked you one question, just like these hundreds of people have asked you. Now, see, you did that to one man, me. But what you going to do to all these people? What you going to do to all these people since that video, audio got released of the young man saying what you did? There have been 20 to 30 people that have done videos about you and me. Larry Reid and the Cigar Vlogger. The story has taken on a whole life of its own, and you have yet to address it. And then you try to hint on your little video the other night. Well, I'm writing a book. You keep deflecting. And my lawyer said, don't talk about this. So you trying to say your lawyer don't want you to tell the truth? Well, okay, since your lawyer told you not to speak on certain things, when is your lawyer going to issue a statement? When is your lawyer? LRLers, y'all giving him money so he can afford a good lawyer because y'all pay him good over there. He even talked about it on his live. 8,000 people times $12 a month. What'd that come up to? Because he said he wished everybody would just go on and subscribe for the year, $144 times 8,000. Then he could put the money in the account and pay his staff and whatever. He calls them his staff. They're over here in the bushes right now reading the comments trying to see who's in here because they're going to delete and block anybody that's in the comments. That's why I got 700 people almost looking at me right now, but only maybe a couple are commenting because the rest of them are just watching because they know he'll delete and block them because he threatened them this week with being deleted and blocked. That's what he do. You had a block party. Why didn't you have a let's address this head-on party? Daryl Moore ain't telling the truth. I deny these allegations. But you already said, and I quote, if anything come out about me, I'm gonna probably deny it. I swear to God, ain't no need me lying. That was a lie. That means you're going to willfully tell a lie. Because we brought the allegation out, and you have not addressed it. You've deflected and avoided it and ran and went on vacation. But guess what? There's a song that Teddy Pendergrass used to sing, said, you can't hide from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. So when you come back to Georgia, this right here gonna still be there. It's gonna still be right there. This is gonna be right there. And the Cigar Vlogger gonna be right here digging in. And I'm going to ask you questions like, why did you feel the need, sir? Did I put that link in there if Marcellus is still here? I'm going to put it in there again. So if Marcellus is in here, he won't come. So why did you feel the need to call? You was on the toilet at your house. The house that you allegedly, I have to say allegedly, molested this young man. And 96,000 times 12. That's just off that, not counting them sowing of seeds scam that he got going. So hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. I gotta get this because it's in my head now. 96,000 times 12 equals 1 million. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Daryl. I gotta get my light on. I'm in the truck right now.
Okay. Hold on. Let me take this off the face. But anyway. Yeah, because he's taking care of some things. But anyway, while we're doing this, let me give you, thank you for that cash out. This is how much. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. This is how much. This is how much he's scamming off of them.
1 second. Let me just pull over.
$1,152,000 per year.
Is that what he's really getting, or he's just flexing?
I'm just saying, he put the 8,000 out there. You know, he did 8's a spiritual number. So this is what he said. This is what he said, y'all. This is what he said. That's what the Patreon. If everybody that he claimed over there, he said he got 8,000 people in Patreon. And if all of them pay $144 a year, that's how much he'll make off of them, just off Patreon, just with them paying $12 a month.
So if he has 8,000 people, then 100 of those people should be contacting you about what goes on over there.
I agree, but that's what I want y'all to get that number in your spirit. 8,000 people. He said he got them over there. And if all of them pay $144 a year, at the end of the year, that's how much he gets tax-free, because he's a church. And he's claiming tax-free exemption because he says that MBN is a church. But we know his Patreon is Larry Reid Live. And that, according to what he put on this, according to what he put on the loan papers, LDR Enterprises is a record label. So Larry Reid Live, LDR Enterprises is under Larry Reid Live is under LDR Enterprises.
But
according
if you look
to the
at
structure that we investigated.
But if you look at his website, MBN Network, LDR Enterprises, Life for God, and Larry Reid Live are under MBN Network. So why are you having a non-profit with for-profit companies underneath it?
Because he's scamming.
AJ, what's up, brother?
What's up, Daryl? How you doing?
Hey, AJ.
Hi, how you doing? Let me see his transcript.
Welcome. Talk to me, brother.
As you know, I've been lighting it up for the week pretty much, man, on your behalf, you know.
I appreciate it.
Pretty much, listen, man, I was one of the devoted fans of Larry Reid, but for a period of time, as I said on my other videos, I kind of figured that something was up about him. Something wasn't too right. Something was off. You know what I'm saying? Like, things just didn't add up the way how he acts, his characteristics and stuff like that. It just didn't seem too kosher. So, you know, I started to, like, kind of veer off of the Larry Reid Live brand and started to, you know, I actually have my own YouTube that I have that I put together and stuff like that. I'm still in the process of getting it together. But, you know, since you've been bringing out the facts to light, now I'm enlightened.
All I want is the truth out there, and let everybody make up their own mind from that point. If you want to still rock with him, I ain't mad, but just don't say you've never been told.
Listen, man, I'm a retired LRLer, man. I'm retired.
Welcome to the truth.
Welcome to the light.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was once in the darkness, but now I'm in the light, man. Now I'm in the light.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to light him up each and every other day. Each and every day I get a chance. While I'm driving my bus, I will be lighting him up.
I know at first I thought you were Jamaican, but then when I heard you say truth and then pronounce the H, I said, that's Trini right there. And the reason I know this, because when I lived in New York, any word that ends in TH, Trinidad people do not pronounce that H sound. Like Perth and boy has always been Pert and boy. It was never the H. TH words, nope. You say Bert, you say Bert.
That's right. I mean,
that's how.
I was born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago. I migrated here in '97, so I could always switch up the dialect, and I could switch it up for you. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Truth is truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But when you get animated, when you start talking or you around your folks, it's gonna come out. That's how I always distinguish between Trini people and people from the Bahamas and people from Jamaica and the other islands, because that accent is very distinct. TH words that end in TH was what separates a true blue Trini.
I mean, it's true red. That's true red. I mean, don't get me twisted. I don't have to be around the folks, you know. Like I said, I can switch it up here right now. I can switch it up. You see, like like right now, I'm
Mhm.
comfortable around. You know what I'm saying? I can switch it up here right now. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just that I'm so used to being in America, so you know, I gotta talk like this now.
So, how long were you over there with Larry before you started seeing stuff that wasn't right?
Since like 2018, actually.
Oh.
Since 2018, and the way how he moves, you know, although you know, I don't have any problem with homosexuals. You know what I'm saying?
Me either, right?
I'm heterosexual. I'm married. I have a wife and stuff like that, and I have 2 kids, 2 boys. But the way how he moves, it kind of got me like. Even my wife says the same thing. Like, yo, you sure about Larry Reid? Why are you watching this guy? You know what I'm saying? Because he just his animations, his characteristics is way off. And for quite a while, I've always been looking at him like, you know, kind of funny. Like, dude, you don't look too up and up, man. You look like you got a couple things going on that we need to know about. And he's just so poised on exposing people. But it's one thing I was watching a video earlier, a previous video that he had with Donnie McClurkin.
Right.
And one thing that Donnie McClurkin said, he said, you know, it's funny it's one thing for a gossiper to gossip about people's business.
Right.
But what happens when the gossip turns on you?
There you go.
Yep.
He want to cry foul. He want to cry foul. Everybody's mistreating me. They're lying on me.
Yeah, they're lying. You shouldn't listen to them. They're making it up. They're just jealous. No, we're exposing you. Every time you lie, we hit you back with the truth.
And
Every time.
I was actually on his live last night, and I went over there last night to grill him. I was like, yo, man, what's going on with the accusations that Darren Moore block party started from right there, man.
Really?
Yep.
And he knew you was a subscriber. Well, at
That's
one time.
correct.
Because people were going over there and come back and they laugh. Oh, well, Larry just blocked me. Larry's people just blocked me. It was a bunch of them went over and came back.
Yeah, I was one of them. It was kind of hilarious to me, really and truly. Like, it was a practical joke, really and truly. Like,
because he called people ignorant in the chat and started.
Yeah, he probably was talking to me.
And the guy said, why don't you just apologize to everyone? And that's what set him off.
And Camacho told him to log off.
Log off. Exactly. That's correct.
I didn't get to that part yet. He must have been really mad towards him for Chamaco to tell him to log off.
Yeah, Chamaco texted him and he posted it up there on the YouTube. He said, log off, Larry. And he said he's gonna do what he wants. Not even his own mama could tell him to do what it.
Yeah, and that's the part.
Lord, see.
Yeah, and that was I did see that part where he said his mother and his parents once abandoned him. That's when he was drawing the sympathy and he got some cash.
Abandoning you? You mean gave a narcissist a boundary?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
No contact because you were up to your foolishness?
Yeah, buddy. So, how were you a donator or you were just following him and watching him?
Nah, I wasn't giving him no money. That's a dub, man. You know, I kind of found it strange the one time that I donated to him, and I run a transportation business with about 15 employees. And that one day that I donated, you know, the very next day, it was very strange that somebody scanned my account the very next day.
What?
Oh.
I'm not saying it was him. I'm just saying it was very strange that I donated one day out of the one time out of my life I donated to a YouTuber, and then the very next day somebody wrote a fake check, all kind of craziness, man. So after
wow.
I had to switch up my account and stuff like that. And I never donated it.
That was a good thing.
We've had to help some of the people come over here to go through Patreon to get their refunds back when they canceled their subscription to him, because he was refusing to give the money back. Yeah,
we had to help them because even though they canceled, they were still getting texts and emails about, we weren't able to run your donation. Can you update your credit card information? I'm like, why do you need to update their credit card information if they cancel Patreon?
Yeah, I was on Patreon too. I gave him 1 month of Patreon.
They don't, Lady
That
T.
was
They
it.
don't.
But thank God that was a prepaid card and it was one of my serious account cards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I was telling people don't even sign up for that app.
Yeah, because that app, he got very mad with me. I did a whole show about that app that he was creating, and he made that app go away. The fine print, if you agreed to use the app, you agreed to give him access to all of your financial information, your debit card information, passwords, everything. He'd have had free access to the login and just hit anything on your computer.
Kev on stage don't ask for all that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So whenever you apply for these people's stuff and you use a debit card, use a prepaid debit card. Don't use your banking card, because your bank card get attached to apps like Larry Reid was trying to put out. They would have had free reign and access to your banking information.
Yeah, they might scam your whole banking information.
Right, and they would have been. You look up and like, where my money go? Oh, Larry, LDR Enterprises or whatever took a donation of or took your whole account, and you you can't get your money back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can file a claim.
Trust me, I'd have reached the Atlanta, Georgia rail spot. Tell you that right now.
I don't blame you.
I'd have reached Atlanta, Georgia real quick.
Mm-hmm. So what part of the country you in?
Me, I'm from New York.
Okay.
That's what I'll tell you in the chat. I said anytime you want to light up. Huh? What's that? Let me see your transcript.
I lived in New York 2 years.
Oh yeah, what part?
Harlem.
Okay, that's way far away from me. I'm from East Flatbush sides.
Okay.
You on the west side?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Bed-Stuy?
Brooklyn, East Flatbush.
Oh, I went to Brooklyn one time. You know why? I went to a Prince versus Michael Jackson party. I didn't know where I was going. I just had some directions to Brooklyn, and I got there. I think I took like the A or the C or the D or something like that.
Yeah, you were in Bed-Stuy area. If you take the A and the C area, yeah.
Yeah, the A and the C. Because I used to live in Crown Heights.
Oh,
yeah, that's the 3 and the 4 train.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And then I'd hop around and I'd go out to Coney Island on the D or the M.
Oh, so you used to get on the dollar vans and stuff like that?
Man, I used to ride them vans all over Crown Heights. Are you kidding me?
Well, I used to drive dollar van. That's
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I used to ride them thing and be scared. One van I got on, the door didn't even close. The man had the door tied up with a rope once he loaded the van up. I was so scared.
Oh, Lord.
That's how you close the door. It wasn't tied up. The door was closed.
Oh, okay. Because he had me scared. I was like, oh, Lord, if we get in an accident, a rope holding the door shut with 15 people in a cargo van, riding up the hill, going up the Crown Heights. I was so scared. But I was too cheap to get a cab, so I said, I'm going to go and try this since I'm over here. After I got comfortable, that's all I would ride. I wouldn't even take the bus or the train. I would just...
I mean, now it's no longer cargo vans. It's buses now. It's mini buses.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, then they got high tech with it over there now,
huh? Oh.
I'm actually in one right now. My lights are just off. That's the only reason why. But you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you the driver now? Okay.
No.
He said he owns it. He owns the company.
I transformed my business, man. I don't do dollar van anymore. I do like private contracting work with some Jewish people up in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah, so I have 13 employees now working for me, and now I'm trying to be, on my YouTube thing now.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Y'all need to check him out. It's the respective angle, right?
Yeah, that's my second channel. The first actual channel is the Respective Angle Show.
Oh, the Respective Angle Show.
Yeah, if you go over there, it's my wife and I. We talk about different topics and stuff like that. But this one that I'm actually lighting up Larry Reid on now is going to be called the Respective Angle Mobile, which means I'm going to be driving around lighting it up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, like them car confessionals. Like what's that white guy to be on TV that's real popular? He pick up celebrities and drive them around. They be singing in the car and everything. I forget that guy.
Oh, James Corden.
Yeah.
They be singing. Yeah.
Interview people while you picking them up.
Yeah. Then there's another one. They do a game show in a car or a taxi or something like that.
Yeah. It's going to be all possible. It's just one step at a time. It's just at the building.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Well, I am not going to hold anybody any longer. I just want to give y'all that. Larry, we're waiting. The interview is still coming. You can stay out of town all you want. When you come back, I'm gonna still be here, and we're gonna be interviewing your first accuser very soon. And I'm gonna edit it and put it out there like I did Jimmy Battle story, and then you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do to people like Tasha K, T.S. Madison, all these preachers and gospel artists that you've harassed and bullied. You're gonna have to. They're gonna be lined up waiting for you to give an explanation and an account for yourself. And all these people that you've ridiculed and put sex videos in your Patreon, these preachers and all that. Now it's your turn.
I can't wait for this. Ooh, I can't wait.
Y'all please hit the like button, subscribe, and all notifications.
Larry, it's so real. It's so real. My
real.
wife, she's kind of upset with me because now I'm starting to smoke cigars now.
Don't blame that on me. Don't blame that on me.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
No.
I told her because she knows you well. I said, that's Daryl's fault, man. She was like, oh, really?
Hey, that's a nice cigar shop I used to go to that's across the street from the Yankee Stadium.
Oh, you over there in Naples.
Oh, that's all in the Bronx.
Right. But it's a nice one there, and then one across the street from Madison Square Garden I used to go to.
That's in the city.
Right.
At this point, we have a lot of smoke shops.
There's a lot of them in Brooklyn, but I never really went to many.
In Brooklyn.
Now the one next to Yankee Stadium is Dominican owned, and the one across from Madison Square Garden is Dominican owned. Those are my favorite two spots I used to hit every time because they had people in there actually hand rolling the cigars for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you getting real deal.
What's your brands? What's your kind of brands of cigars?
I like Asylum 13, but anything that comes, anything comes from the Dominican Republic, I love. I love their tobacco leaves. But when I would sneak over into Canada, because you can buy Cuban cigars in Canada.
Ooh.
You got to try.
But hey, we can actually get stuff straight from Cuba now. That's 2015.
Yep.
You got to try Tobacco Special, man.
What's the name of it?
Tobacco Special.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to go look them up tonight. Next time I go to the shop tomorrow. Tobacco Special.
Yeah, Tobacco Special.
Email me, Prissy Poodle, kdiva703@gmail.com.
All right. Well, I'm about to get off here, everybody.
Well, Daryl, I had one thing or a couple of things I wanted to say before.
Go ahead.
Because you were talking about, because I think some people, like you were talking about your story with Andrea Garrison. And so some of the people in the chat, y'all need to understand something. Daryl took her story because she was a victim, and I even stood up for her.
Sure did.
And I stood up for her against someone else's sister, and I didn't like the way that they were treated. However, I found out that
she was lying.
I still didn't like the approach the other person did to confront them because I think it was done out of jealousy.
It was.
Because they were not the hot topic anymore. Because remember, 2 or 3 years ago, it was all about Juanita Bynum and someone else. And then now, last year, was all about Andrea Garrison and Victor Cousins. And so I thought it was done out of jealousy. And we just found out through investigating people she knew, exes, the grandmother of her children, that this lady had a lot of skeletons in her closet, and she was not who she said she was. And so I know some of you are still going over to Larry Reid, and you're seeing her in the chat, and maybe she's being nice, but that is deceiving. She is downright evil. She's a narcissist. And narcissists get together when it's convenient, and they break up when it's no longer convenient, or they get jealous of each other. And so at one time she was hooked up with Larry Reid. Then when that didn't work, he started seeing through her lies. She went to Jives, and then then Jives saw through her stuff, or at least his sister saw through her stuff. And then she came over here and did the same thing. She tried to drive me from Marcellus and Daryl. It didn't work. And like I said, I'm Aphrodite. I'm just like, hey, everyone, give her a chance. I was making excuses. And then when she told me something about school, like I'm a teacher, she said something about school. I said, hey, when are you going? Have you packed for your flight to Ohio? Because she said she was going for the case, right? Against Victor Cousins. I'm thinking like, because she's supposed to be the victim, right? She tells me like, oh, I can't go. I talked to my lawyer. I can't go because the kids can't leave the state because of COVID. Their school says they're going to have to be quarantined for 14 days if they come back. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute now. I know friends, teacher friends in New York.
Right.
And I'm always looking at the New York stuff. So I went to Googling and I'm looking at, okay, what does the school district there say about students leaving the state? And then I'm looking at the state, and the state is telling people like, oh, I think if they go out the country, I think it's a quarantine or whatever.
Yeah, 14 days.
And so I'm just like, and I'm looking at, there's one school, it was like a private school, that said the kids had to be quarantined. And then I asked the question, I said, well, can your fiance, can he watch the kids while you're gone? And she says,
no.
Oh, he don't have permission. Something like, wait a minute now.
This your fiance.
Your fiance does not have permission to pick up your kids, but you're living in their apartment with him?
That don't
I said, Marcellus is right. Like I said, Marcellus is Apollo. Give the prophecy. Just don't charge nobody. He was right all the time. And then when I stopped believing her, and my thing was when she tried to lie on Daryl, which Daryl told us this guy who was his frat brother, they were not friends, they were not brothers, had went on a killing spree. She tried to tell me that Daryl was with him all day. And I'm like, she lied on Daryl now? So I immediately blocked her on all social medias and my phone. And then she tried to get some flying monkeys, which is her supporters on her Facebook channel, basically to come and harass me on Facebook. One of them even called me on my phone. It was just horrible.
They called her job.
Well, the sister called my job because I disagree with her.
Oh, yeah.
But I think she may have been the one who called the nonprofit I work with. Either her or Parking Lot Thought.
Yeah.
Just because you tell the truth and you disagree with somebody.
Right.
So if y'all see her name over there in that chat, don't be like, oh, she's supporting. And even they fell out and kind of got back together after she and Larry started, I guess, buried the hatchet. Or her and CTV buried the hatchet.
He forced her
supposedly apologized. And then
they blackmailed her.
I think they did too. And they started lying on Daryl. Trying to say, oh, he did this, he did that, he's a killer. He didn't do none of those. That's why I put that link to the video about her, Larry Reid lying on Daryl. They made a fake video that they took from his original video where Andrea and Giles were both in the video. They edited them out and has Daryl there basically saying that, hey, if anyone comes to my house, here's my gun, I'm ready for you. They spliced all the other stuff out and made it seem like he was threatening Larry.
I remember that. I saw that.
Yep. And they put it out there.
And put it out there.
And Conscious TV put it back up about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Who Bundles?
He put it back up on his channel.
Who Bundles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Bundles.
Ah, poor Bundles with his 68 viewers on his live today.
Yeah. But he got 21,000 subscribers.
How is that?
He bought the subscribers.
I have a little bit over 2,000. I had 100 people in my chat. Doesn't that make more sense? How do I have? Okay, let me be quiet.
Because you didn't buy your subscribers on that app.
That's true. I didn't buy them.
You can buy 1,000. You can buy 1,000 subscribers for $150.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And also we found out confirmation from parking lot thought's ex-fiance who was trying to get away from him because he was abusive. So I found out parking lot thought got hands.
Yeah.
Parking lot thought. Who?
We call him parking lot
TV.
He got
because he got a charge. A parking charge, he said. But if you go online and look at the South Carolina, I have a video about it. Y'all have to watch it.
Yeah, he had a video.
And it says basically prostitution.
Yep.
But he says that it was incorrect. Oh, the government is incorrect?
He got arrested for selling his bread basket in the parking lot.
So he just said it must have been a parking lot.
So we called him parking lot thought ever since.
Parking lot thought.
Oh my goodness! I'm now catching up, guys. I'm now catching up.
That's it. That's
it. It is.
We put the whole arrest record and everything. We even got in contact.
Oh yeah, because it's public record. You guys can look it up.
Yeah, it's legal.
And then he tried to get his own criminal report and gonna show it on his Patreon. I think he showed it on his Patreon or on his YouTube. And I'm thinking like, okay, number one, you just held up some papers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no address. I don't see your name. I don't see nothing else. But what I do see is this website over here that tells me that you had a charge
from the state of South Carolina.
From the state of South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And you spend a day in jail.
Yep.
So who spends a day in jail for tickets?
Not unless you got a bench warrant.
Mm-hmm.
And he got mad and he was like, we lying. I'm like, okay, we lying. And the state of South Carolina lying on.
And by the way, I used to be a follower of Jives, and I used to be a follower of Content TV. I was never in Larry's Patreon. I was in Content TV Patreon. Eventually, I got out of his too.
Well, I never followed those two. Bundles and you got a name for Jives, man. You got a name for Jives.
We used to call him Tootie Booty. Tootie Booty.
There you go.
Marcellus calls him Glitter Biscuit.
And Marcellus calls him Glitter Biscuit.
Yo, they couldn't last a day in New York. Oh my God.
So they should have not bundles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want y'all to be careful when you start seeing these people show back up and they're like, oh, these are people. She's trying to say, oh, this is accountability and growth. That wasn't what she was saying last year about Larry Reid.
Not at all. Talked about him like a dog. And
then and she talked about Jobs like a dog too. Like every time she leaves someone's group who sees through her bullshit, she starts bad mouthing them. She has a campaign of like hate and lies against them. It's classic narcissistic example.
Mm-hmm. And we just expose them.
And that's why we be making these comments and y'all like, what are they talking about? Elephant. Because she pretended to be pregnant. That's her MO. Yeah. All her boyfriends, she said she's been pregnant.
And her youngest child was about 8. And she had a hysterectomy. So if she have any baby, it's going to be baby Jesus.
It's a miracle.
Baby Jesus.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
She have twins. We're going to call them Miracle and
Baby
Jesus.
And she only counts 2 children. She actually has 4.
4. 3 boys and a girl.
4 kids.
Mm-hmm. The first 2 kids, or one is in middle school, another one's in high school. They're being raised by their grandmothers of the fathers.
Mm-hmm.
And she's down here in New York, right?
Yeah.
She said New York, but then I saw something else where it said she was in New Jersey. So she over there on the East Coast.
She was over there off and living in right across the street from Tribeca.
Mm-hmm.
Down there in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't worry, I can send that warrant squad over there. I can send that.
That's right. That's what I was talking about. That warrant squad.
Just say the word, Daryl. Just say the word.
Yeah, because she got a warrant from Ohio. Because guess what she did, y'all?
Fraud.
See, her and Larry got this in common. They like to beat up on older people. Larry beat up on his mama, and she beat up on her baby daddy's mama, the grandmother of the middle schooler.
Mm-hmm.
And that grandmother said, and I quote, "No, I am not taking away or dropping the charges. That warrant is going to stay there."
Mm-hmm.
And that's also the reason why she was not really trying to go back to Ohio, even though she kept telling us she was going back there for Victor Cousins' court appearance. But she can't go to Ohio because as soon as she gets stopped or go into the courtroom, they gonna arrest her ass. Because she got like 2 or 3 warrants. There was one thing parking lot that Tootie Booty's sister got right. She do got a record too.
Yes, she do.
And she got mad at me tomorrow. Oh, you're ruining my case because I went to look up Victor Cousins' real case, and I went to see if her name was there. Then I went to look up was there a civil case because she kept saying she got all this money from this settlement. She told Larry that. I think she told Giles that, and she told us that. Guess what? There is none. There's nothing that says Andrea Garrison versus IBC Church or Andrea Garrison versus Victor Cousin in a civil courthouse.
Nowhere.
Should ask for the paperwork.
Nowhere.
Right. The only thing that was out there was that bullying, that cyberbullying charge.
Yeah, because she got a cyber. This is the thing. She got her own cyberbullying telecommunication harassment.
Right.
Charge against somebody.
Right. And that case is still open.
And she also got something with some counterfeit money.
Yep.
She got warrant. She can't go to Ohio.
She can't go to Ohio.
So she was lying to us, talking about, I'm going to Ohio, my lawyer. And then she ain't got no lawyer. She had like a advocate or something.
She didn't even have a public defender. She had an advocate. And the advocate
it is really not her case because it was the state of Ohio versus Victor Cousins. In fact, she was a victim, and victims do have rights, but we found out it was all a lie. I do know the name. In case you want to come back over here, we do know the name of the guy who supposedly you said was Victor's friend and took the pictures or whatever. I contacted him, and he said he's willing to talk to Daryl. So don't come back over here.
All day. We don't play. We don't play.
What did Sully Caesar song say? You telling lies, but I know the truth.
Truth. That's right.
Yep. So don't y'all believe that hype when them people when she roll up in that chat saying no.
All that Patreon crap. But why, Larry, I'm gonna ask this and I'm gonna leave. Why will Larry Reid go to Patreon to defend himself to his subscribers, but he won't come out in the public and defend himself?
That's the same question I asked. Come on. Oh my
goodness. Artist Best. The two youngest kids was with her and the fiance in the apartment. The oldest 2 kids live with they live in Ohio with their grandparent. Each of them has a different daddy, and each of the boys lives with their grandmother, their father's mother.
And I have the addresses.
Yes.
I'd say this.
And she's gonna have to answer to those kids one day because those 2 is gonna come looking for her, and they're gonna have to ask her, why did you leave us behind? And the 2 that she has now are gonna have to say, why didn't you tell us about the other 2?
Yep.
What made us so special that you kept us?
Well, apparently Larry knew there were some allegations coming anyway, because remember he did say if there were any allegations he's gonna deny them.
Right.
And he's not gonna apologize. Wow.
He knew.
He know now. He's on the run. And he's been withdrawing large sums of money. And he thinks I don't know about it.
I'm sorry, Hope.
But I've held y'all long enough, and I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
And and I'm gonna look forward to your video tomorrow, AJ. What time you think you're gonna come on?
After 10 a.m. for sure.
All right, I'll be looking.
The Respect Angle Show. Right.
I had a little bit of trouble. I did it from since like around 9 o'clock this morning, but for some strange reason it didn't want to upload. It took me like 30 minutes for it to upload off my phone, so once you see it, it's gonna be there.
All right, because I got my alerts set to when you go live, so I can click in because I have my phone with me.
No problem. Just log on to the Respective Angle Show and the Respective Angle, either one of the 2 channels. It's gonna be
Okay.
on there.
Okay. I'll be looking.
All right.
All right, everybody. We out of here.
Bye.
All
See
right.
ya.
All right. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 All right.